Hey, how are you? So, my name is Nikki Guy Dixon, and I am the owner of Diva Diva Company, LLC, the beauty, health, and wellness company where beauty goes beyond what you see. And so, I decided to pop on today at work because I was really feeling inspired to talk about the art of leveling up. So, I wanted to do a level up series. It's January. My birthday is coming up, and I will be 42. And I just wanted to do a quick video talking about leveling up starts in your mind. Because a lot of people struggle with how to get from one point to the next. Like they really struggle. Like you have this desire in your heart, in your belly, that you want to be in a certain place or position, but you struggle to get to that place. So I'm just doing this quick level up video to share a brief part of my testimony and to give you 3 tangible steps. The first month of the year, how to get in the mind frame of leveling up. And when I say level up, being the best version of yourself, like not trying to be anybody else, but just trying to be who you are. So, a little bit about myself. I'm a single parent of 4, 16, 13, 11, and 8. I am a public school teacher. I am an active church member. I also used to own a not a beauty supply, but a beauty salon that I recently just closed down. And I'm a personal trainer. I do online training courses, and I teach food and nutrition courses. So I'm about to be 40, but when I was in my 30s, I didn't look like this. I didn't feel like this. I wasn't doing this. I was married. I was in a very bad, abusive marriage, and I was having babies, and I was fat, and I had all kinds of stuff going on with my skin and my hair, and I did not feel like the best version of myself. If I can be honest, I just didn't. I didn't. I knew I was destined to do more. I knew I could do more, but at that current state, even financially, mentally, I was just drained. I just wasn't where I needed to be at. And so, fast forward after the divorce, I had to figure out how to become the woman that I knew that God had really designed me to be. And so, for me, that started with my body. So, I was originally 238 pounds. And it took me about a year to get close to 70 pounds off. And then I didn't like the way that I looked naked. So I worked really, really, really hard um, moving forward to try to get muscle tone and to develop better skills so that when I got the weight off, I could keep the weight off forever. Um, Career-wise, I didn't like where I was. When I came out of the divorce, I started working with the University of Maryland, and they didn't pay good money. I felt like I was on slave quarters. And I knew that with my degrees and my skill set, I knew that I was able and capable to do more than that. And so I knew I needed to do something different. I didn't like the house that I stayed in. After the divorce, I didn't want to stay in that house. I wanted a fresh start. But I was stuck in a house that was falling apart, and I didn't even make enough money to do the repairs, being a single parent with 4 kids. So I had a lot of factors that I wasn't happy with. I'm newly divorced, didn't like my job, had to figure out how to get my health and my weight and my confidence back up. And I just wasn't in the best place for me. I've always been a very confident person. I've always been a very ambitious person, but I just wasn't where I needed to be at. And it did. It took time. It took 4 years to lose the weight. It took 6 years to get another house and going through a state of homelessness and staying in hotels. And I made a rookie mistake and had a roommate, and that didn't work out. Um, and having a split with my kids at one point, and they stayed with my mom, and this and that was a disaster because my family is very dysfunctional. And during this time, God had to work on me and show me that I gave you a vision of what your life could be, and your life can be just like that. But you have to trust me and you have to work hard. And that's what I did for 6 years. I put my nose to the ground and I just moved forward. I didn't look back. I didn't look to the left. I didn't look to the right. I looked forward. God had revealed to me a vision, and I stayed focused on that vision. So here are the 3 things, maybe 4, that I'm going to suggest that you do in order to level up your mind when you are coming out of any of those situations. Debt, divorce, homelessness, illness. I was sick. Physically, I was sick. I had to get surgery. Um, Being a single parent. Like, you can change your destiny if you can change your mind. The first thing I did was I got in God's face. I asked God for what I wanted. He told me what he could do. This is in prayer. This is reading the Bible. This is going to Bible studies. Like, none of this was for anybody else. This was for me. This was for me. Because I knew that God was the greatest thing in the universe. So if he could create, if he could do things, if he created people, if he created opportunities, he could do those things for me. The next thing that I completely focused on was creating a vision for what I wanted to look like and what I wanted it to be. This is the most important part. You will hear me talk about writing down your goals. You will hear me talk about vision boarding. You will hear me talk about accountability. Like, as far as like telling people, like, a lot of people say, don't tell nobody what you want to do. Just, I don't know, just show them. I am from the family that you should tell people what you're doing. I'm going to tell you why, because it weeds out the people that's not supposed to be in your life. I lost a lot of friends, a lot of damaging friendships and relationships when people challenged me on what I wanted to do with my life and how I viewed myself. Everything from my weight loss down to where I wanted to live, even down to how I dated. But I knew what I wanted. I knew what I needed. And I was confident in my relationship with God. And I was confident in what I needed to do to get to where I felt like God had revealed to me to be. But people will try to make you doubt yourself. They'll try to make you doubt your vision and your goals. And so that's why you have to write this stuff down so that you're constantly seeing it. I had a vision board. It is falling apart. That vision board was the foundation for what I wanted my body to look like, what I wanted my finances to look like. I wanted speaking engagements. I wanted to be able to do these type of videos and learn how to utilize technology, because like, I had been sitting at home taking care of kids. I didn't know how to do none of that stuff. Also, you want to make sure that once you start your journey, that you find a way to be consistent. Like, you have to figure out your why. So for me, my why was my children and myself. I felt like after we had come through this terrible situation with their father, I felt like we deserved the best. I felt like I deserved the best. I felt like I deserved the best relationships. I felt like I deserved to eat in the best places, to dress the best, to live in the best house. I just felt like I deserved the best, what I deemed was the best for us. The other thing that I would suggest, and this is just a little extra bonus, is it's okay to be weak, to be vulnerable, to feel like things are not coming the way that you want it to come along. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to cry. It's okay to scream. It's okay to be angry along the way. But just know that if you do number one, which is seek God and put Him first, you can level up. You can get there. If you see what I used to look like, if you see what my bank account was looking like, if you see what my housing situation looked like, I'm still even driving a bucket, but I'm believing for my dream car with no debt. So your mind has to change with your relationship with God. It has to change with what you see. Like if you want to live in a big pretty house, go walk around in big pretty houses. I've heard people say this before. It's so true. If you want to drive a fancy car, go test drive it. If you want to work at a certain place, go talk to somebody that works and does what you want to do. I mean, this is important. This is important for your well-being. It's important for your mindset to see that these are things that you can do. That's how your mind is changed. And then it's just important for you to start somewhere. And it's important for you to understand that it may not be an easy process. If anybody would have told me it would have took 6 years for me to get to the point that I got to, and out of all of the obstacles that I faced, I mean, when I tell you I faced all of the worst of the worst of the worst obstacles, losing people in my life that I thought was going to be with me forever, going to jail, being homeless, losing a business, getting a business, losing a business. All because it was a part of the journey and the process. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for it. You have no idea. So, if you want to level up, if you want to live differently, if you want to be different, you're entitled to that change. Go get your change. Go live your life. And you can start with Gimme Da Glutes. If you want to get my online course, it is now available. And I'm also available for consultations and all of that good stuff so I can help you start. So I hope you enjoyed this little snippet. I don't know if I'm going to have Kung Fu mouth. Have a great day. Bye-bye.